Hi, I'm Haley J. Madison.
And I'm Allison Egan, and we're from Her Name Was Torment 2. And you're watching Mr. Tony of the Dead.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Mr. Tony of the Dead here, and I have another movie review for everybody out there. This one's on a movie called The Barn. This is from Nevermore Productions, and it's written and directed by Justin M. Seaman. And in this movie we have Mitchell Mussolino, Will Stout, Lexi Drips, Cortland Woodard, Nikki Darling, Nicholas Joshua, and special appearances by Linnea Quigley and Ari Lehman. It's Halloween 1989, and best friends Sam and Josh want to spend their last devil's night before they graduate, having some fun. So they get a bunch of friends together, a group of friends, and they're going to go to a rock concert. And while they're there, they take a detour. No. 1, 2, 3. It's Halloween 1989, and Sam and Josh, their two best friends, they want to spend their last Hell's Night, having a good time before they graduate. So they get a bunch of their friends together and they decide they're going to go to a rock concert. And on their way to the rock concert, they take this detour. And they find out that on this detour there is a barn. And they decide, we're going to party in front of the barn. But what they don't know is there is an evil that lurks inside that they accidentally unleash. This movie was actually funded through Indiegogo, and I'm going to say, I know I've said this before in the past with other movies I reviewed, but they definitely put the money that they earned through the Indiegogo and put it all into this movie. There is everything you want in this movie, especially if you love Halloween movies, like Halloween settings, fall settings. They put it all into this. If you love that, you love practical kills, and you love 80s movies. This is all jam-packed in here. It's just something for everybody, I really think. Even if you're not into like the 80s horror for some reason, I think you'll definitely enjoy this movie, especially, like I said, the atmosphere. The camera work is spectacular. There's a lot of depth perception, going on. The lighting is great in this movie. It even is made to look like an old VHS tape, especially in the very beginning. It's like as if it was watched a lot, and the beginning's a little weird. There's even like cigarette burns in the corner that when you're supposed to change the reel or whatever. There's even that in there. So they've really made this look authentic, and it is. I've watched it on DVD, but it is also on VHS, which I'm sure looks even more amazing. The movie's actually not rated, runs 90 minutes long, but I don't feel like it dragged at all. I felt like very interested in the movie the whole time. Didn't really look away. I might have looked away once at my phone, but that's just out of habit to see what time it was. But really, it really caught my attention. It made me focus. Really, attention driven. It's a lot of movies sometimes don't do that nowadays, but this one, I couldn't take my eyes off of it. The three main bad guys in this movie, which are on the cover here, are the Boogeyman, which is like a minor type of character. He's incredibly scary looking, if you ask me. Very terrifying, especially his eyes. Very, very scary. He's the scariest one of the three, in my opinion. There's also Hallow Jack, which is like a pumpkin guy. He's really cool looking too. They're all cool looking, but he's really cool as well. And then there's the Candy Corn Scarecrow. It kind of sounds like a crazy kind of name, and the reason for that, I believe, is because the director and writer actually wrote this when he was 8 years old. There's like a behind the scenes, well, not really a behind the scenes, it's the Indiegogo video that is actually on here as well, and he says how he wrote it when he was like 8 years old, and he shows a picture of him with it and the characters drawn in there. And so this is just amazing that this is the writer and the director's vision since he was 8 years old. Like, he wrote this that long ago, and now it's adapted now. It's just crazy. There's also a short on here from 2002 that he made, and it only has the Boogeyman, but it's like his first interpretation, is that the word, of the Boogeyman. And it's almost just like this, like in the movie, but not as scary. And but it's a really cool short movie as well. I thought the acting in this was good, but it was really bad at the same time, and let me explain that. think that it was made to be bad on purpose because it's supposed to be from the 80s, which watching this you would think it's actually from the 80s. I mean, this it's 1989. Everything seems to be correct with the time period. The decorations are from that time, and the outfits, the things they say, and the way they deliver their lines are as if you're watching an actual 80s movie. So that's what I mean when I say it's so good, but it's bad at the same time, like the dialogue. But I think that's what made me really enjoy it a lot more, because it felt authentic. It felt like oh, this is a hidden gem. I haven't heard of this one. Let's pop this one in. And sure enough, it felt like I was watching a movie from the 80s. It's just a shame you didn't get to see it on VHS, but like I said, they throw in that filter on here, and it really looks like you're watching a VHS. So it really pulls back the nostalgia, and it just done perfectly. I thought it was done very, very well. Actually has a few likable characters. Some, like I said, usually there's some you like more than others, but I thought everybody did a great part. There's really good character development in this. Even has a little bit of nudity in this. Not much, just one pair of breasts, but they're very nice, and that's all you need in a movie. You don't need it. I'm just saying it looks good, and it's in the right place, the right time. If I had to say anything that I didn't like about this movie, and there really isn't much I don't like, I think that it could have been a little more gritty, and that's kind of very picky, or but you could tell that there's scenes where they're driving in the van, and the back windows probably have a green screen because you could see that it's kind of a fake background. But they really added to the realism of that, where I noticed they're driving in the van, and they act like they hit a bump, and like they all go up like this, as if at the same time as if they hit a bump. And I thought that was very clever, because you kind of forget about that kind of stuff, but they added that in to make it seem more real. But because of the windows, I could tell that it wasn't real, but I thought it was done decently though. But like I said, I would have minded a little bit more grittier looking, a little more grimier looking in the whole movie. There's a lot of practical effects in this movie as well, which I really like. And it's funny too, because this is 1989, but you could tell, because later in the 80s it seemed like they tried to do that neon laser lightning look effect, like when the boogeyman or something would get hit, it would be like a shock around him, but it would be like a lightning almost. And I think that was actually really clever to do, because it seems like in the late 80s they started doing that a lot, like Shock 'em Dead, Life Force, stuff like that. It has that bright light neon kind of thing to them, and they just started really doing that with the digital effects or whatever. And they did in here, and I don't think it ruined it at all. I think it added to, like I said, the nostalgia to the movie. I thought that was really cool. There's a lot of awesome practical effects in this movie. In fact, the very first kill in this movie, I was actually really shocked that happened, and to who it happened to. I'm not going to say it, and it's in the beginning of the movie, but I'm not going to say who dies in this movie or what, but it was very enjoyable. I enjoyed seeing people die, and that sounds horrible, but really I did. Like I said, they actually do have this on VHS. It's the big box VHS, and this is actually the 2-disc Trick or Treat edition, and it's really cool because they have stickers here. There's the not rated sticker, and then if you look on the back, they have the Be Kind Rewind, a 50 cents charge, horror sticker on the side, and it looks like it, like on a tape, which I'm sure looks a lot cooler on the VHS, but it's just cool that they added this on here. But on here, the disc has the movie and then special features. There's a ton of special features. But there's a CD-ROM in here and 8-bit music by Rocky Gray. And let me just say, the soundtrack to this movie is fantastic. It definitely fits the vibe of this movie. There's an Indiegogo video on here, when you went to the page to contribute. It shows that video with Ari Lehman, who's Dr. Rock, which is kind of like a Svengoolie type of character in a way. Very, very cool character. In fact, I think he probably did the best out of everybody in here. He was so believable that he was that Dr. Rock. it was just so awesome. If they make another movie, I'd like to see like him do that, and in the Barn universe, I'd like to see Dr. Rock in another movie that Justin makes. It was just such a cool part, especially his intro. It was really cool. A lot of 80 nostalgic shit in there. And but yeah, there's like the trailers in here, which I'm gonna tell you, the trailers, if the whole movie could be like the trailers, like that gritty, I think that would have been best, because the trailers are awesome. They are so believable that they are from the 80s, and it's amazing. They just did a terrific job at this, and of this movie. And like I said, when they had the Indiegogo, the perks in this was incredible. They have all the way from plush dolls with kind of like wrestling buddies. If you remember those, I'm old. If you remember those, there was wrestling buddies. There's little looking reaction figure type figures. There's action figures. There's a board game, posters, DVDs, VHS. Like I said, a video game also of on a Nintendo cartridge, which is cool when they show that commercial for this. It's phenomenal looking. It's such an amazing commercial. Like I said, there's also his short film on here. There's also audio commentary. There's a ton of stuff. The only thing I wish they would have showed, and you kind of get a little glimpse of it from the Indiegogo video, but I would have loved to have seen a behind the scenes. There's no behind the scenes on here, which I would have loved to see. I just thought I would love to have seen how they set everything up. It would just been great. I think that's one of the main things missing in this. So with all of that being said, I guess you probably know that I recommend this movie. I think you should see it. I think it's a great time. I think it's definitely for people who love Halloween and love 80s movies and just love the fall time. And I also do think that you could watch this any time of year. I don't think it's just around Halloween time. I think it would be amazing to watch around Halloween. But I just watched it now. It's February, and it just made me want Halloween so much more. So, if you're really jonesing for Halloween, be careful when you watch this, because your fucking head might explode. I'm just saying, that's just a warning. That should be a warning on here. Warning, fucking head might explode if you're excited for Halloween. Which, who isn't, right? But yeah, The Barn, definitely check this movie out. It's definitely worth a watch. So if you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought about in the comments below. Also in the description, I'll put where you can get this movie. I'll just put the Facebook page, all that kind of stuff, Just check the description for that. And make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, AMINO, and Twitch. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.
Coming soon from Nevermore Production Films. Meet Sam, Josh, Michelle, Russell, Chris, and Nikki as they embark on a Halloween night they'll never forget. The Barn. The legend of the Barn isn't just a campfire story anymore. It's something far worse.
Trick or treat!
The Barn. What happens every year when the harvest moon shines its brightest is about to happen again, and again, and again. All they wanted was a Halloween they'd never forget. What they got was a night they'd pray to survive. This Halloween,
Gotta stay away from the pup!
trick or treat, smell my feet,
It scared me to death.
and die. Starring Mitchell Mussolino, Will Stout, Lexi Drips, Cortland Woodard, Nikki Darling, Nicholas Joshua, and Richard Belloc. The Barn. Coming soon to video cassette.